The room was loud just seconds before it happened. Glasses clinked. Laughter bounced off the walls. The annual fundraiser at the community center in Columbus, Ohio, was supposed to be a celebration. Teachers, parents, donors, local leaders, all gathered under warm yellow lights. At the front of the room stood Ethan Miller, holding a folded piece of paper in hands that shook just a little. Ethan hated speaking in public. Everyone knew that. He was tall but slightly hunched, like someone who'd spent years trying not to be noticed. His suit didn't fit perfectly, and his tie was a little crooked. He had rehearsed his speech all week, quietly, alone, after his 10-year-old daughter Lily had fallen asleep. This night mattered to him. He took a breath and stepped up to the microphone. That's when Rachel Carter laughed. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. But it was sharp. Honestly, she said, her voice carrying farther than she realized, are we really letting him speak? He's always been so weak. The word landed like a slap. Weak. The room went quiet. No clinking glasses. No whispers. Just silence, thick, uncomfortable silence. Ethan froze. Rachel stood near the front, confident, polished, admired by many. She was successful, outspoken, the kind of person people listened to. She had once been Ethan's wife. And she had just called him weak in front of everyone. For a moment, Ethan considered walking away. His chest tightened. His ears rang. Memories rushed back, memories he tried hard to keep buried. Years ago, when Rachel had wanted more. A bigger house. More money. A louder life. And Ethan, working 2 jobs, barely sleeping, trying to keep their family together, had never seemed enough. You don't fight, she used to say. You don't push back. You just accept things. That's weakness. Then the divorce. Then the custody battle. Then nights alone with Lily, doing homework at the kitchen table while reheating leftovers and pretending everything was okay. Weak. That word had followed him for years. The audience shifted uncomfortably. Someone cleared their throat. A few people glanced at Ethan with pity. Others looked at Rachel, waiting for her to say she was joking. She didn't. Ethan's hands trembled harder. His paper shook so much he almost dropped it. But then, he felt something small slide into his palm. He looked down. Lily had slipped out of her seat and walked up to him. She stood beside him, her tiny hand holding his finger like it always did when she was nervous. She looked up at him and whispered, "Daddy, you're not weak. You're brave." Something inside Ethan cracked open. Not in pain. In strength. He leaned down, kissed the top of her head, and straightened his back for the first time that night. He looked at the audience. Then, calmly, he looked at Rachel. "I used to think weakness meant staying quiet," he said into the microphone, his voice low but steady. "I thought it meant feeling everything deeply. I thought it meant putting others first, even when it hurt." The room listened. "But I've learned something," he continued. "Real weakness is walking away from responsibility. Real weakness is mistaking kindness for fear." Rachel's smile faded. Ethan unfolded his paper. He didn't read from it. He spoke from memory. "I'm a single father. I work nights as a hospital custodian and days as a delivery driver. I miss sleep. I miss comfort. I miss things I don't even talk about." Some people looked down. Others leaned in. "But every morning," Ethan said, "I wake up my daughter, make her breakfast, and walk her to school. I sit through parent-teacher meetings. I save every extra dollar for her future." His voice wavered, but he didn't stop. "If that's weakness," he said softly, "then I accept it. Because my daughter is growing up loved, safe, and strong." Silence again. But this time, it was different. Someone in the back started clapping. Then another. Then another. Soon the room filled with applause, slow at first, then loud, then overwhelming. People stood up. Ethan felt tears on his cheeks, but he didn't wipe them away. Rachel stood frozen. For the first time, she looked unsure. After the event, people lined up to speak to Ethan. A veteran who thanked him. A teacher who hugged him. A single mother who whispered, "You said everything I feel." Rachel approached last. "I didn't mean," she began. Ethan held up his hand, gentle but firm. "You did mean it," he said. "And that's okay. But don't confuse my silence for weakness anymore. I'm quiet because I choose peace." Rachel nodded, eyes downcast, and walked away. Ethan watched her go, not with anger, but with relief. That night, as he tucked Lily into bed, she asked, "Daddy, did I help?" Ethan smiled through tears. "You helped me remember who I am. Strength isn't loud. It doesn't shout. It doesn't humiliate others to feel tall. Real strength shows up every day. It keeps going when no one claps. It loves when it's easier to leave." So if you've ever been called weak for being kind, for being patient, for staying when others walked away, remember this story. And remember, you are stronger than they know. If this story touched you, like the video, subscribe to the channel.